Welcome to the Crosstown Nine, another exciting, thrilling, amazing trade deadline by the New York Yankees. And we're here to break it down completely. All three trades we're here to break down from the New York Yankees. Chris and John here to break it all down and recap just another new year, same thing deadline for the New York Yankees. It's kind of getting unbelievable. We're going to talk about how they did not fill any of the positions they need to fill and some questionable trades that they made as well. One questionable trade for sure. We are a week off, but that's because I was busy and John was on vacation. I probably should have just kind of done one, but I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it. It's on me. I'll take the full blame. You can throw your stones at me, but it's okay because the trade deadline is coming past and we really want to break it down. I was going to do the pleasantries, how you been, blah, blah, blah. I think we should just get right into it because this is a pretty rough trade deadline for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think anyone that follows the Yankees, does anything in regards to the Yankees, I think every Yankee fan, everyone that does anything Yankees related, are all frustrated, to put it nicely, because there were so many holes on this team, and you're watching all the other teams around you get better, and the packages for some of them were ones that the Yankees could pay, and for some reason they just didn't do it. And I'm sure we're going to hear whenever Brian Cashman does his press conference is going to be, oh, are any of them MVPs like Bellinger, Stanton, and Judge? Who easy to put as trade returns, right? As trades that they made.
But
and
you know
it's
what?
so infuriating.
You know what? They're all playing. The three people you just named aren't on the field. Like, what are we talking about? But funny enough, you just said, are they Bellinger, Stanton, or Judge? They did get an outfielder. They did get an outfielder. So maybe they're not any of those guys, but they did get somebody to fill in that outfield space. Let's start with the trade they did to get rid of one. Duvall is gone. He is now on the Pirates, who actually went and got a bunch of relievers. They did not just go get Duvall. They got Kirby Yates. They got Luke Weaver. They got a lot of guys for that bullpen as they try to make their first run in a long time. They have to because they want to keep Paul Skeens around. They want to show that they want to be good. But he is now gone. Couple of prospects back. Tell us a little bit about the package they got back for Duvall. Because I know that wasn't like anything crazy eye-opening, but Duvall also has been pretty rough with the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that was mostly a dump. I think they got a catching prospect in that one, but I think both were just low level because, and it's funny, I think Duvall's first debut with the Pirates gave up a home run. So it was like, cool, we don't feel as bad just yet. But that was just a dump, and I don't think anyone was mad about it because he had been so bad this year, and I think they needed to move on. But the part with them moving on from Duvall was that it freed up a spot in the bullpen for them to fill. And we had talked about Giovanni Cruz, about is that a fit? But then they went and traded him. So now there's still an arm that you could put in the bullpen, and they just never got one.
And they just never decided to fill it. They never went out and got it. Not to say that the Yankees did not try to do it. There's a lot of stuff out there like they offered Rodriguez for Rutschman and did not get a bite. Like, but a lot of the players that were rumored for the Yankees to help fill some of those positions. You look at what the trade packages were. I mean, we didn't even get to go on and talk about Schnabel. Maybe we get to that later. But even the trade package for Schnabel was before the season started. They asked for Ben Rice and like Spencer Jones and Schlittler for him, and now they're taking one good prospect. And then I will say one thing that really frustrates me about the Schnabel trade that I hear from people. The second best prospect in that trade is a 27 going on 28-year-old that just came off Tommy John, River Ryan. What are we talking about? Like, why are we saying he's so talented? He's almost 30. And he's coming off Tommy John. That's the second best prospect in that trade. Sorry, we don't have to go into that.
The Schnabel trade is so strange on so many levels because whether he's going to hit free agency and automatically go to LA regardless, like I think the closest comparison I could have made was when Milwaukee got CeCe, And it was like, there's probably not a chance that they re-sign him, but there's an opportunity to compete right now. So if you are a team like Milwaukee or a team like Tampa, or even like one of the bigger teams like the Yankees, why would you not go in for that pitcher for even just the rest of the year?
Yeah,
He's such an incredible talent that even if you are resigned to losing him at the end of the year, for the package that they ended up getting him for, I don't think is that insane for any other team to offer something even a little bit better than that without giving up all of your top guys.
I think to keep it on the Yankees, I don't think they should have gone for Scooble. I mean,
No, because it's
yes,
not a need.
it wasn't a need. The starting pitching has been pretty good. I
It
mean,
would have been
Cole just went out there
fun,
and
but it
went
wasn't a need.
six 1-run innings, and it would have been a really fun thing to have. But they needed relief pitching and they needed a catcher. Before we get to that, they did pick up 2 players. They got Heliot Ramos right at the deadline to fill in the outfield. Now, it's a little confusing of a move, but Bellinger's going to be out for a while. Judge is going to be out for a while. This might mean that Grisham's not coming back at the end of the year. He is only on a 1-year deal as of right now. So there's a lot of weird implications that now this fits into. They do have him for, what did you say, pre-show, 3 more years?
I forget if it's up until 2029 or through 2029.
So
but either way, he's here next year for the next 2 years.
Next 2 years for sure.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good deal in that way. I don't know what the trade value was. If I remember right, it was for 2 players. It was a 2-for-1 swap. So
yeah, it was the number 5 prospect in the Yankee system, who was a lefty pitcher, and then I think they said it was a number 14 or 15, who was an infielder.
Was it the La Lane or something like that?
Lane, yeah, that was the pitcher, the lefty pitcher.
Yeah. I don't know who the infielder is though. I don't even know what his name is. But that makes this is the thing. Like we talk about it all the time. You can't hold on to these prospects all the time. Like you got to sometimes make moves. We talk about it, how many episodes where they've talked about this guy's gonna be a superstar, this guy's gonna be a superstar, this guy's gonna be a superstar. There's only been one. His name's Aaron Judge. Other than that, there's been nobody come out of that. I mean, Ben Rice now is looking pretty good, but realistically, no one's come out of that system so far and consistently has been a star. And even the people that have been good, like Gary Sanchez, are like, we're flashing the pans. So you got to kind of make some moves and make your team good. It's frustrating to see that all around the Red Sox are getting better. The Rays were getting better. The Blue Jays did this weird buy and sell thing. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
They did something weird.
Yeah, classic Blue Jays, though. But then the Yankees are just like, we'll get an outfielder, and then we'll get the second person they acquired, who was Luis Garcia Jr. Although a very good bat to get, this means 2 things. He's either going to play out of position or someone else is going to play out of position. And it's so dumb. He's a first baseman and a DH. He's played second base and shortstop and all this stuff, but he's
sucked.
not. Yeah, he was bad.
He sucked at second base. I actually don't know how he is as a first baseman defensively. But second base, he stunk.
He was so bad at the middle infield. They're like, you can either DH or play first base. So he
that's the confusing part.
First baseman.
And it's the confusing part because, yes, it's a really good bat. There's no denying that. But there already is a logjam with first base DH because you have Rice and Goldie. So I think the plan is Rice DH for the most part full time. And then you're platooning Ramos and Goldie. But then once Stanton comes back, not Ramos, Garcia, but then once Stanton comes back, what are you doing?
So you are on the money with the first base. So Rice is the DH today of recording, and Garcia is at first base starting, batting third for the Yankees tonight. So you're right on the money with that one so far. But it's just not. It was the bat was a need. The position was not. So we end up trading Jake Bird and Cruz, a couple minor leaguers, for a bat that doesn't fit. Like they needed shortstop, they needed catcher, they needed relief pitcher. Hell, could have used the third baseman. And we go and get something that we actually have 2 pretty good guys at. The 2 best bats in the lineup play the same position. Now the 3 best bats in the lineup are going to play the same position. It wouldn't surprise me when everybody comes back healthy if he's like stuck in a corner outfield or like thrown at third base or someone's throwing it out, they're going to throw him out of position. It's just, this isn't MLB The Show, guys. What are we doing?
I know it's a very confusing. It is a bat the team needed, but when you look long term, and by that I mean mostly just the rest of the season, because they are expecting everyone to come back healthy. So they are expecting, when you talk about the positions that the two main guys that they acquired, they are getting Stan back, who's only DH. They are getting Judge back and Belly back, who are both outfielders. When you already have Grisham, who stunk, and I don't think they're going to move off of him this year, which is infuriating. Spencer Jones, who's actually playing a lot better, and then
Yeah, he
Dominguez,
has.
who has kind of just been what it is. I thought they were going to try to use him as a trade piece, but maybe that's for an off-season move. So I think now you're looking at Jones being the one they keep and Dominguez being the one they move. But then, especially now with Ramos, that can play left field. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. The two moves are very confusing. And like we had talked about briefly before recording, and even you mentioned it before, you're seeing the teams around you and in your own division get better with players that you could have also used. Like, it's not like they were getting a star right fielder and you already have one of those, or they were getting starting pitching and you could have had one of those. Like, they're getting catchers which you needed. They're getting relief pitchers that you needed. And it's for packages that I'm curious to see what I want to, because I'm sure it'll come out, what the Yankees offered in comparison to what the Red Sox actually traded, to see how different it was. So I
Yeah,
think I was seeing reports that the Yankees and Orioles already pretty much had an agreement. The Orioles were just shopping to see if anyone would do better, and the Red Sox ended up doing better.
it looks
But then
like,
I'm wondering, like,
according to Bleacher Report, the Yankees offered Elmer Rodriguez as the like the centerpiece of a trade, and that was the one that was already in motion, and then they went with the Red Sox instead. There was also the one, I can't remember what the pitcher's name is because I'm thinking off the top of my head, but the Padres reliever for Will Warren that they declined as well. They did not
Morejon,
want.
the reliever.
Yes, yes, they didn't want Will Warren in that one. I'm trying to see if I can see the article, but it looks like maybe it wasn't Bleacher Report that did it. Maybe it was MLB.com that did it. Yeah, it's MLB.com. So the Red Sox sent Carlos Navarez, who's their starting catcher, Kaysen Witherspoon, and Andy Azokar. Wow, I was terrible. Azokar, which is their number 4 prospect, number 5 prospect. So, plus their number 2 prospect. So they definitely paid for him. Like, they definitely paid for him. They sent their number. They sent 5 players. So their number 4 prospect, their number 2 prospect, their number 5 prospect, and the 49th ranked prospect in all of baseball, all to the Orioles for just Rutschman, which Rutschman's been fine. So, like,
Been injured.
yeah, he's
He's
been
injured
injured.
now.
He's injured now. Yeah, he's on the IL currently. So honestly, that was not one that really. That wasn't the one that really got me. It was more because it went to the Red Sox that got me.
Yeah, for me too.
It was more of when the Rays getting the Marlins catcher, you know what I mean? Like,
I forget his name. I gotta find
yeah,
it.
Liam something. He's on my fantasy team.
Hicks.
He's actually Liam Hicks. He's actually very good. I don't remember his name, but he's on my fantasy team. I can tell you right now, he's pretty good. And that one went super under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, there was 5 catchers in total that could have been starting caliber that were traded. 2 of them went to the Red Sox because, like, Jake Rogers also went to the Red Sox.
I think the thing with Hicks is that the I guess thought behind it was the Yankees were ready to go for another lefty catcher. They wanted a righty catcher, which for me, I'm like,
who cares?
Both our lefties stink.
Yeah, who cares?
Bring in a lefty catcher.
Can they hit the ball?
Let him be better than the other 2.
Can they hit the ball? So there's a couple other ones. There's one other one that apparently fell through. right before the deadline, the Yankees were linked with the Angels to Joe Adell again. What? What is that? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Where's he fit? He's also done after this year, so he's a free agent.
Yeah, rental.
If everybody's going to come back healthy, Bellinger, you have Ramos, you have Judge, you have Stanton, you have Adele. Like what? Where and then where? I don't know, man. I don't understand the thinking. I'm gonna go off of what we were texting when Garcia was picked up, and you said it looks like a move before a move, but then that
That's what I
next
was
move
hoping
never
it was.
happened.
Yeah, that's what
I,
I was hoping it was.
I was like, is Jazz gonna be gone? Like, are they gonna do this? Like, are they
Yeah,
gonna do
that's what we
that?
were
Like,
talking about.
is this because they think Jazz is leaving? They're going to move him over to second. He stunk there, but are they going to move him over to second? Like, if he can't start at second for the Washington Nationals, he shouldn't be starting at second for the New York Yankees. That's all I have
Agree.
to say. Like,
I
what are we
agree.
talking about? But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think all this whole time I was going back and forth because even previously talking about before, I think when we last recorded talking about the trade deadline, I was like, they have to do something, right? Like, there's no way if you're any sort of decision maker in the Yankee higher ups, that you look at this team and the way they performed and you think that fully healthy, you're good. Because, like, you have play so many players on your team, especially at the bottom of the lineup, even when fully healthy, that are absolute zeros offensively and questionable at best defensively. Because even the Caballero Volpe debate, they both stink.
and they're both now there. You know, like
Ryan
it's
McMahon, Ahmad Rosario at third base. I don't want either
both
one of
still
them.
there.
Ali Sanchez, Austin Wells at catcher. Don't want any one of them.
The
And
thing
it's
is,
still that.
they
And
got bats.
Jazz has been better, but like I think he's gone regardless. So like it
I
is what
think
it
he
is. You
is
just
too.
hope he catches fire, and then he's gone. And God knows what they do next year. Again, I don't want to talk about the
Yeah,
end
I
of the
don't
year
want to.
and off season and next year because it's all question marks. Even just at a whole
Also,
league.
I don't want to come up. This is the thing that frustrates me. I don't want to come off the trade deadline thinking about next year because we didn't do enough in this year. Like
Yeah,
this is the problem. The Yankees are going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the division series, and then they're going to either lose in the ALCS or lose in the World Series. They're going to get their pants pulled freaking down in one of those two because they're just not going to have the offense to do it. They're going to
yeah,
have Austin Wells striking out 4 times a game. Volpe's going to be making errors, and everybody's going to be like, "What the hell's going on?" Cashman's going to be like, "Oh well, you know the numbers." It's like we have been saying since goddamn March, we need a shortstop, we need a reliever, we need a catcher. We are two amateur podcasters saying you need these 3 positions. This is supposed to be the smartest man in the organization. He doesn't understand any of those, and I understand trades fall through. I totally get trades fall through. But these aren't like, oh, these would be nice to have. These were needed for the team to succeed. You not going after those 3 positions shows you're not interested in winning this year. And if you say you are, you're lying. There's absolutely no way you're interested in winning this year when you know shortstop stinks, when you know the catcher stinks, when you know the relief pitching stinks. You have all these different problems. Third base can't hit. You fill none of those. You go get a first baseman, which you are fine with. You go get another outfield. We have one of the best outfielders in the entire planet. I know he's
yeah,
hurt. The entire planet. We don't need those positions. We did not fill what we needed. We didn't even try to fill what we needed. Going back to relief pitcher and short, there was one relief pitching rumor that came out that didn't come through. What happened to Mason Miller? What happened to the other 15 guys that were traded today? None
yeah.
of
There's
them. They're
so
not
many
in
relief
none of the
pitchers
rumors.
dealt, man.
There were none of the rumors. Okay, let's go to catcher. So Rutschman didn't come through. There was nothing about them going after Hunter Goodman. There was nothing about Liam Hicks. There was nothing about Jake. There was nothing about any of the other catchers. There was like 10 catchers traded. Nothing about all of them except for one. So unless something comes out saying like, oh, they tried for all these guys, it didn't come through. It's just another one of these. Well, I don't want to trade Jason Dominguez. Oh, I don't want to trade this
Yeah,
person. I don't want to trade that. They're going to be a star. Well, guess who else is a star? Hunter goddamn Goodman. He's a star now when you need him.
yeah. And that's the thing with this team and this organization is that they're still banking on their players. And what you were saying before of the positions of needs that we have, those have been needs all season. And it's not that because that we have those needs because there are players at those positions that are hurt, right? Like the players
They're
that are
all of
hurt
them are healthy.
have
All
they
of them
all
are
yeah,
healthy.
all the players that you came into the season to play those positions are all healthy. They've played all year and they've all been bad since the beginning of the year.
When
Brian
when you're
McMahon, Ahmad Rosario, Jose Caballero, Anthony Volpe, all the catchers, you can name all three of them. They've
when you
all been bad. They've been bad all season. And here comes the trade deadline. We've known about that they've needed all these, that they should make these trades for weeks. That players have been available for weeks. Trades have been there to be had for weeks. And then here comes the trade deadline. You're like, cool. Today's the day. Cashman's gonna make some moves. Even if it's whoever the one was, I think it was the one catcher from like the Angels or wherever.
yeah,
That like
Hoppy was traded too.
yeah, that's like bring in somebody. Because somebody's gotta be better than what we have. But no, they say, oh, they still have faith in Wells and his defense and can't hit a lick, but he can catch the ball. I'm like, it doesn't help when, like you said, when you're in the playoffs, you got runners on base and he's striking out. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when Volpe, who you're still playing all the time, is in shortstop and you have a routine double play setup and he either boots the ball or he doesn't make the throw fast enough. So the inning continues and then you lose. Because then you have relief pitchers that the other team is now seeing for the fourth time in a series gets hit. Because it's the same stuff that's happened and like will continue to happen every freaking year with this team. You have your 3 or 4 high leverage relievers that the other team's going to see 3 or 4 times in a series and get hit. You're going to have horrible defense that make errors in key situations. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, shit happens. Then you're going to have the same bottom of the lineup that comes up with runners on base after Belly, Judge, Stanton, all of them get on base, and they're going to strike out or ground into a double play or hit a pop up to the infield on the first pitch. Because it's the same thing with this team, and it's infuriating as a fan for a team that has such a legendary history of getting players during the trade deadline, getting players in free agency, and being so like a history of just being so ruthless when it comes to acquiring talent. And now they're so okay with just like, we make the playoffs every year. And they're okay with that. And it sucks, man.
Yeah,
And I know like there are teams like the Rockies and before this year, like the White Sox and the Mets, and stuff like that. But like the fact of the matter is that's not what the Yankees are. The Yankees were never okay with just being a playoff team. They were never okay with just being 500. They were never okay with just being competitive. So as a fan, when you have that history of striving for excellence year in and year out, to just see this, you get so angry about it.
they are like content with mediocrity, but they're not content. They don't want to. It's that same thing we talked about a couple weeks ago. You know, keep your job as long as you're over 500. They haven't been under 500 since 1980, whatever. It's like, okay, but that doesn't mean they're good. Doesn't mean they're doing good things. And like you said, like, yeah, it's funny for people to hear a Yankee fan complaining about how much they stink when they're 15 games over 500. But the entire mentality has switched to just be good enough. When you came into the season and Caballero was supposed to be this ultimate DJ LeMahieu-esque guy, and now he has to start because the other shortstop stinks, and then while you're at it, you're like, we're not going to make any moves. That's being stuck in mediocrity. And you know what? They like to say Austin Wells can catch the ball. You know who else can catch the ball? Hunter Goodman, Adley Rutschman, Tyler Stevenson, Liam Hicks. They can all catch the dang ball. You know what else they can do? Hit the ball.
Yeah.
Austin Wells can't do it. I've worked with Austin Wells. He's a really nice guy. I see the human side of sports a lot, but he can't hit the ball. He can't hit the ball. It's tough.
It's wild. It's wild, man. It's wild to see. Because it's not even the fact that, like, Because I would get it if we had stars and all-stars at every position that are underperforming. Like what people used to say, oh, just like, oh, just eat the contract. Like Stan for the longest time, right? Before he really like it was hitting his stride in the playoffs and everyone kind of started to love him again. It was like, oh, just eat his money and go get someone else. Or A-Rod down the stretch. Just cut him and go get someone else. Like I would get it if people getting mad at that sort of rhetoric. But it's like Volpe's not getting paid anything. Caballero's not getting paid anything. Ryan McMahon is making a decent amount of money, but I think you can move off of that
In
via
comparison, though,
trade.
right? His
Amen
14
Rosario, same
million
thing. Like
isn't
all your
worth it.
catchers, how much are all the catchers making? And you thing is, you have, and then you have the prospects to make trades without giving up the person that they're saying is going to be the third baseman of the future, George Lombard. You have other players because of who you have at the key positions. Like you have your starting rotation for the next half a decade. You have your key position players pretty much signed or coming up or already here. Like Jason Dominguez is questionable. Like Spencer Jones is playing well at center field. You have Bellinger locked up. You have Judge locked up. You have Ben Rice. So now, like, you have the opportunity to use some of these prospects that aren't going to see the time of day for your team and that will probably end up fading into the abyss and going somewhere else anyway. You might as well use them to get, even if it's a middle of the pack veteran that may only be here for 1 or 2 years, and stick them at one of those positions so you could be competitive this year because of who you have between Cole, who's getting older, and Judge, who's getting older, who are both legends of the game. Not even just Yankee legends, but legends of baseball. And they're wasting away on the Yankees, which is a crazy idea to have. That these two guys are wasting away on the Yankees because Cashman doesn't want to do what's necessary and get rid of some of your prospects that you're not going to play.
The biggest difference between, other than the money spent, the biggest difference between the Dodgers and the Yankees right now is the Dodgers hype up their prospects and then they move on from them. Go look at the prospect. There's one prospect that I could think of that actually became something, and that's Yordan Alvarez. And that was 10 years ago. You know, like that's not anything recent, but they hype up their prospects. They get these guys that move all the way up the list, and then they trade them away. The future can always look bright, and I get it. You look at these prospects and you hyped them up, and now you're drinking your own Kool-Aid, and you're like, I don't want to get rid of him. He's the future. But you know what you need is the now. You can't hold on to the future when the now is crumbling in front of you. You have one of the best players to ever step on a baseball field. You're the New York Yankees. He's one of the best players to step on a baseball field in your uniform. And you're wasting it away, like you said, because you refuse to let go of all these little young prospects that are supposed to be amazing. I understand it. You don't want to give up your future. Look at the Angels, right? They gave up their future to try to build for Mike Trout, and it completely blew up in their face. The Tigers did it a couple years ago, although they did make the World Series a couple times. It kind of blew up in their face. You can still build the pipeline while trying to build for today. Hype up some prospects, figure out which one should I move on from, which one should I keep, put the move-ons in this pile, put the keeps in this pile, and then stick to your guns. The problem is all of them are in the keep pile. There are none in the move pile.
They're not moving. They're not using the prospects to move.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees have this, I think fans a little bit, but not as much as I think the Yankees do. This desire for the second coming of the core four. I think we saw it with the baby bomber era, where they had all those prospects come up and start raking. And we're like, cool, the second coming of the core four. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Like, it is so hard to have a one prospect hit, let alone 4 or 5.
And it was 5, by the way, because Bernie Williams also was a hit.
Yeah. And, like, more often than not, you're trading your young prospects to get veterans or young established talent. Like, we had talked about, like, our dream trade scenarios of, like, an Elly De La Cruz, right? O'Neal Cruz that you would have loved to see come and wear pinstripes. And like players of that ilk, right? Those are
and O'Neal Cruz
that,
was actually kind of like plausible.
Yeah. So it's like players like that, like obviously like again, we've made the jokes in previous episodes, trading for Bobby Witt and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like those are players that you form successful teams would. Look, like you compare to the Dodgers, who are the cream of the crop right now, winning back-to-back World Series. And how many of those guys are homegrown versus how many of those guys did they trade for or did they sign? Obviously, the Ohtani situation is crazy, but Mookie Betts, look at all their pitching staff. It was all signing and then the trades.
I don't think
It's
they
all
have any.
stuff.
Do they have any homegrown other than Will Smith, maybe the catcher? I don't think they do.
It's mostly trades. And then
It's all
obviously
trades.
everyone loves to go to LA.
Signing in
like,
Japan. Well, that was the thing. I don't remember if I did it on this podcast or I did it on a different podcast because I've been on a couple of different ones promoting things. The Shohei Ohtani thing, the reason it is so bad, the deferred money, is not because they deferred the money. Honestly, who cares that they deferred the money? They want to defer it till 30, 45. Let them do it. It's his money. I don't care how he gets it. But the fact that it does not hit their salary, like at 70 million, it hits it at 2 million, is a huge problem because now they can make these Scooble trades and the Freddie Freemans and the Mookie Betts, but also you're leaving that money open for the Yamamotos to come over. And those guys, they're going to follow Ohtani. It's like, it was like Ichiro. Like those guys wanted to play with Ichiro. They want to play with Ohtani. And you have given the Dodgers the opportunity to open up that salary to bring in a Yamamoto, to bring in all these other Japanese players. So that's the biggest, to me, that's the biggest problem with the deferred money. It needs to be on the cap. I don't care if they defer it for 2,000 years. I don't care if they defer well past when we're all gone. Do not care. You do what you want with your money. But the fact that it does not
signing
count,
a player like that
impact it. 70 million. It's 70 million. It makes 2 a year. 2.
Yeah.
That's $68 million open a year for them to make maneuvers around. That's just not right. That part's just not right. And they do it with a lot of players. I don't know if you saw, but they owe over $1 billion in contracts.
Yeah,
now.
I saw that. Over
$1 billion
in contract. Yeah.
That's why
but it's the thing,
all.
too, that, like, I guess, even with the Yankees, because, again, that's what we primarily want to talk about, is that they don't necessarily have to go as far as that to be as competitive. Because I think they do a good job of bringing in players, but it's just that when they miss, they just stick to the miss. Because I think in theory, I think we were all very high on the Yankees coming into the season. Of like, they're still going to be a playoff team, and if healthy, and I think we all saw it at the trade deadline, they'll make a move or two like they always do.
I didn't want to interrupt, but what you're saying is correct. But every Yankee fan on the planet was like, they're going to fix the holes at the trade deadline, which they did not even attempt to try to do.
That was the thing. And I think that's what makes it so infuriating is that we were like, we have everything pretty much ironed out. Whatever holes we have, we'll just fix at the trade deadline because we have the ability to do it. But the fact that it came and went and we hit none of the needs. None of the needs.
None. Zero.
We got an outfielder when we have 5 outfielders, and we got a first baseman / DH when we have 2 first basemen and a third DH. And we fixed none of the defensive issues, and we gave no depth to the bullpen that has been taxed the past couple of weeks because because of just how much they've had to been used. Why? Because our freaking defense can't get a stop. Like the reason why we ended up splitting the White Sox series was because we didn't have Bednar for the last 2 games. Because Volpe decided to boot a ball that let him back in game 2. So Bednar had to come in for a second straight day. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I saw a tweet earlier. Someone was like, I can see the Yankees like falling out of the playoff race. I'm like, they're 6.5 games ahead in the wild card. I have no faith in the rest of the team under the Red Sox to really get that high and the Yankees get that cold that they don't make the playoffs. But like, once you're in a series, like, do you have faith that they're going to hit timely? No. Do you have faith that they're going to make the defensive plays? No. Do you have faith that this bullpen that's going to have to perform day in and day out is going to be able to do that? It's highly unlikely.
Yeah,
and that's the same thing every year. And we had this conversation in the off season. It's the same thing every year. We know the outcome. We're just delusional fans that hope that it changes. But it's
Definition
the
of
same
insanity.
thing. It's the
The
same thing.
definition of insanity. That's us. That's us Yankee
The whole
fans. Well,
playoffs is a crapshoot, and it's the same things. It's the same stuff we're gonna hear whenever Cashman does his thing. Is that we're gonna get all these guys back, we're gonna get healthy for the playoffs, and that anything can happen.
and you know what does happen? The same thing.
The same
The
thing.
same
Defense
thing.
costs us a game, bullpen costs us another game, offense costs us another game. Next thing you know, we're losing a series.
Yep.
Either to the Dodgers in the World Series or to, I don't remember who we lost to last year, but it's like, it's the same thing.
It is the
And it
same thing
stinks,
year
man.
in
It
and
stinks
year
that
out.
it's the same stuff. And everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Every analyst knows it. Every fan knows it. Everyone that does a podcast knows it. Everyone knows what's going to happen now. Everyone's going to come back healthy. Judge is going to rake at the end of the year. We're going to be like, cool. We just need a couple of runs. The starters are going to give us great innings. The bullpen's going to give us great innings. And then Anthony Volpe's going to have an error.
Or someone's going to be playing out of position and not be able to make a play, or same thing. Listen, I think we can go in circles all day about how disappointing this was, but it's just the same thing every year. Unfortunately, it's the same thing every year, and until that changes, we're going to continue to know it's the same thing every year. And you know what? Maybe it makes us optimistic for the offseason, but that's not what the trade deadline is supposed to be. It's supposed to make you feel good. I mean, if the Pirates can go out and make a bunch of trades, come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, this has been another episode of the Crosstown Nine. You can follow us on social media at Crosstown Nine on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube at Crosstown Nine Podcast, or find us wherever you find your podcast at Crosstown Nine Podcast. We'll be back next week. We'll do a little more breakdown of the trade deadline, but more outside of what the Yankees have done. We talked a little bit about the Red Sox, talked a little bit about the Orioles and Rays. The Rays also got Freddie Peralta, which I thought was a pretty good deal, even though it's kind of stunk this year. They did need like a kind of back end pitcher, and they got.
Yeah, it's a really good. It's a really good move for him. We'll talk about it more next week.
We'll talk about it more next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could see Garcia today. He is in the starting lineup, and we'll talk about that next week as well. For Chris and John, this has been the Crosstown Nine. We'll see you later. Still say go Yankees, even though they disappoint me. Go Yanks.